Thank you, Chairman and Ranking Member Bowman, for convening this hearing and our witnesses for appearing before us. In Illinois, 54% of the energy that we use to power our state is nuclear-generated electricity. Illinois is the leader in nuclear energy production. This is a clean and reliable source of energy that has worked so well for my state. However, nuclear power does create waste. And currently, we do not have a central location for the country's nuclear waste to be stored and disposed of. The solution we have gone with is simply storing the waste at temporary storage sites at or near the generating reactor. This is not a long-term solution and generates environmental contamination concerns. Sites where nuclear waste is stored must be monitored very carefully. Activities which rely heavily on the expertise derived from subsurface research and technology development. One of Illinois' nuclear reactors is just outside the Quad Cities, a community that I represent. Drs. Wainwright and Rosso, are there new developments in subsurface science that we can better protect our communities that live near these facilities?
I go first. So I teach nuclear waste management at MIT. I was hired last year to teach this subject. And nuclear waste, I would say, is one of the best managed waste in human history. It's protected by highly engineered barrier systems, and also there are many regulations to protect the environment. I would say there can be many technologies transferred from EM domain, in a sense that EM, DOE, Office of Environmental Management, have so much experience moving defense-related waste, monitoring these waste. I manage a project developing monitoring technologies. There are so many new sensor technologies, artificial intelligence for anomaly detection. So these technologies, new technologies, monitoring particularly, can be transferred to secure nuclear waste as well.
Yeah, it's a great question, Congressman Sorensen. PNNL is parked right next to the Hanford site, and we deal with a lot of contamination just upstream from us on the Columbia River. It's an area that EM has taken over in terms of, let me back up. They actually are responsible for cleanup of that site with its 1,000 or so plumes of contamination slowly making its way down. But the R&D effort is largely there as well. And it used to be something that was a focal area of the Office of Science. But to be honest, it's actually waning a little bit. And it's hard to explain why. It's above my pay grade. Why exactly? Maybe it's political largely. But the point is that there's a lot of left-off questions that haven't been addressed in terms of trying to understand how radionuclides move through soils and subsurface environments. And EM is in a mode where they fund research for cleanup. They fund the Deep Vado Zone, for example, which is billions of dollars a year, some of which PNNL leads for DOE. But the fundamental R&D is just not there. It's not there where it used to be. And it would be great to see that pick up again from the Office of Science.
You'd mentioned that perhaps some of the problem here is political. Could you explain that?
I cannot. It was just a pure speculation, and I'd love to back that off if I could, but I can't.
Well, thank you, sir. I've only got a minute left. As a nation, we're investing in carbon capture technology, but there's questions based on safety and sustainability. Dr. Hakala and Ms. Book, either one of you, do we know enough in the geology to know that this is 100% safe?
We can flip for it. Okay. I'll go first. So just being fast on my feet, I would feel safe with this, like, in my backyard if the system's designed correctly, okay?
Great.
And I say that because there's been long-standing use of CO2 in the subsurface many decades, 40 years plus, okay? And so knowing from that, you can't really cite fatalities from it. There's not a body of real big safety concerns that come off of that because the storage of that, its use in oil field recovery and through pipelines has been very heavily regulated, as well as from the safety paradigm, very tightly controlled. Okay, and DOT PHMSA provides a really good oversight mechanism for CO2 and pipeline. And so I think in terms of the subsurface, the decades of safety experience there is well in hand, and I think very under control.
Dr. Hakala, I know I'm running short on time. Do we know enough? Are we monitoring below the surface enough?
Well, we have a few major things to our advantage to ensure this safety is. We have the regional partnership, the regional initiatives, the carbon safe efforts, the pending efforts. We have the National Risk Assessment Partnership, and we also have the SMART effort. And so when you think about some of the fundamental to applied work that's happening through NRAP and SMART, NRAP is looking at how can we quantify the risk of a site, so that way you can make good decisions about what type of site you want to develop. And so that's built off of years of the labs working together, the years from the oil and gas industry experience, and pulling in new knowledge from sites that are under the demonstration sites. With the real-time monitoring and application of computational tools and AI, we're going to be able to understand what's happening in real time so that things that may have been a problem in the past won't be a problem because you can deal with it faster. So I think we're in a really good position to ensure the security and safety of these systems.
Thank you for that, Chairman. I yield.